Hi, this is a quick walkthrough of how you can bring Llama, an open source AI model from Meta, into your Salesforce using GPTfy. GPTfy is a Salesforce App Exchange app that lets you bring natively and securely your own AI model on the infrastructure of your choice. And you can use it without buying anything else. You can just deploy GPTfy, connect it to your AI/LLM, and use GPTfy's built-in native trust and security layer, prompt builder, and all that. So let's take a look at three important areas. One, how do you connect to AI models? Particularly in this case, how do you connect to Llama? Two, what can you do with it? What kind of business scenarios can you enable? We can take a quick demo of an account summary. And three, how is security, privacy, and other things maintained? So let's dive in with connecting to Llama. So I'm on Cockpit in GPTfy, which has all of these configuration settings, and I'm going to go to AI model. This is a completely declarative setup. And you see here a bunch of AI models that I'm connected to. This one is Llama on AWS. And what you see here is it's a very standards-based connection, basically connecting via REST endpoint on Amazon Web Service. And you can see that here is my Llama 3 that I'm connecting to. And this is using a named credential, a very secure Salesforce recommended way of managing credentials with API keys and secrets. And the idea here is just with that sort of a simple configuration, you are able to bring AI into your Salesforce. Let's take a look at what we can do with it next. So I'm on an account record here. And as you can see, this account has some opportunities and some other additional information connected with it. This little bar that you see here is GPTfy. It's a Lightning Web component that gets embedded directly on any page that you like, and it will show you predefined prompts specific to that parent downstream. So in this case, these are all the prompts based on account. Let's run account summary. What happens now is GPTfy extracts information from Salesforce, masks it, sends it to Llama on AWS, gets back a response, and displays it here. And as you can see in this response, there is some of the information from Salesforce about the opportunities, about the accounts, and all of this data can be a mix of what we send from Salesforce, so grounded in the CRM data, but it can also be information that generative AI driven by Llama has incorporated. It could have summaries, it can have sentiment analysis, a lot of really sophisticated things can happen here. Here is an example of another account 360 prompt, where you're seeing a summarization, objection, next best action. All of these are completely generated by Gen AI. The sentiments here as well, a summarization of tasks. The opportunity to bring generative AI to your Salesforce environment and do really compelling business use cases for sales, for service, for operations, for finance. The sky's the limit. We are really looking at an incredibly compelling way to bring any AI model of our choice on any infrastructure. So in this example, the Llama AI model may be running on Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, or your own on-prem system, or any other infrastructure, as long as it exposes a REST endpoint and uses a standards-based approach to authenticate and connect, we are in business. Now let's take a look at what happened under the hood when we ran this prompt. So I'm back to my account overview prompt. I'm going to click this little link here. What you now see is a security audit record. And GPTfy creates this every time we make a call so that you can have security and complete audit of what happened. On the right here, you can see the prompt. Again, very plain English way of writing a prompt. You're sending some information, you're getting some back, and we'll dive a little bit into the prompt builder in a minute. In the context tab, what is the data that was extracted from Salesforce and sent? Again, this is a really simple example, so very limited data has been sent. What's interesting is the trust and security layer is masking. So based on my configuration, it is identifying certain things like product names, it's identifying the name of the account, and it's replacing it with completely. So you can have this kind of masking or anonymization for information going to AI when it is PII or other confidential nature data. And you can do this at a free level. You can do this by pattern matching or regular expressions. You can also do this through block lists. So very nifty way to making sure that your confidential information is preserved inside Salesforce and you can still benefit from AI. Next, let's look at response. So this is the response we got back. As you can see here, this is the raw response. We've got some bunch of things here. They have been reformatted by GPTfy, and PII has been reinjected. and this is the result that will be. So that's basically what happened when all of this was done. Let's take a look at the prompt and the related data mappings next. So I'm going to click on this, and we will now see a prompt builder. On the left is GPTfy's prompt builder with the prompt command itself. You can also see that there is grounding for various fields, for example, the annual revenue. What you also see below that is the connection itself. This is connected to AWS Llama here. You can see some other additional information for grounding, which is not done in this case, about locale, and some of the other information around automatically updating fields based on the response we get. Next, let's take a look at the data that was sent to AI. What you see here is that we are sending data from the account record we are on. We are sending these 4 fields. We are sending related tasks, related opportunities. If I wanted to send additional information, I can just go and add related object, and it will show me all the objects that are connected either by a parent-child relationship or by a lookup relationship. What's interesting is it includes support for standard objects, managed package objects, custom objects, as well as external objects. So you can bring data from non-Salesforce sources using Salesforce's O Data Connector, which is also called Salesforce Lightning Connect. And using that, you can bring into external objects a lot of relevant information and send it to AI. Very easy way to additionally bring information from non-Salesforce systems. We're also working on adding support for data cloud. So if that's the direction you want to go in, GPTfy can support your journey there. Now let's take a look at the field values that we are sending. So when I go here on field mapping, you will see that for account, we are sending these 4 fields. And here I'm doing some masking. So I'm masking the account name. I'm saying take this entire value and replace it with company 1, whatever. And that's what we saw when we were looking at the masked result. So that's what's happening here. So in terms of security and privacy, essentially your data is either in your Salesforce or on your LLM running on your infrastructure, which you can log down, have zero retention, do all kind of InfoSec policy enforcement and hardening of that system. In addition to this, you do get a native security and trust layer to ensure that your confidential data remains inside Salesforce. You also have now control on who has access to these prompts and how you can automate all of this. The other interesting part of these prompts is that they are exposed as flows. So you have the ability to consume any of the prompt you create through flows and through Apex code. You can also invoke these prompts through a REST endpoint. So a very easy way to do things like that. In addition, you also can automate so that these prompts are run without any user intervention. So you can run them in a mass processing mode anytime an account is updated, the case is closed, or whatever your use cases are. That's a quick high-level overview of how you can bring your Llama AI models inside Salesforce and actually benefit from the compelling aspects of generative AI very quickly. GPTfy is an app exchange product, and you can learn more about it on GPTfy.ai, which is our website. You can also look at a lot of other demos here and other resources that are available. So I hope this was useful. Feel free to reach out to me directly or click on the book or demo button here and connect with us. Looking forward to be a part of your Salesforce plus AI journey. Thank you so much.